Shaquille O'Neal, towering at an impressive 7 feet 1 inch, is not just known for his legendary basketball prowess, but also for his immense heart. His laughter is contagious, and his presence radiates warmth, making him a beloved figure both on and off the court. Shaq has a unique ability to connect with people, making even the most ordinary moments feel extraordinary. This was evident one fateful day in Atlanta, where a seemingly trivial visit to a jewelry store would turn into a heartfelt tale of generosity that would resonate far beyond the walls of that shop. Before we dive into this incredible story, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Your support means everything to us and is the only way we can share these uplifting stories of kindness and compassion with more people. So, please subscribe now. As Shaq stepped into the Zales jewelry store, he was on a mission of his own, searching for a pair of earrings that would add a touch of elegance to his already striking appearance. The gleam of the jewels caught his eye, but what truly captivated him was the atmosphere of excitement and anxiety surrounding another customer. A young man, probably in his late 20s, stood nervously at the counter, his gaze fixed on the sales associate who was explaining the details of a layaway plan. Shaq, with his keen sense of empathy, couldn't help but notice the young man's fidgeting hands and the subtle crease of worry on his brow. This young man, whose name was Marcus, had been saving for months to buy an engagement ring for his girlfriend, Sarah. He had worked long hours at a local restaurant, juggling shifts while dreaming of the day he could propose. The ring was more than just a piece of jewelry to Marcus. It was a symbol of his love and commitment to Sarah, someone he envisioned sharing his life with. However, standing at the jewelry store, he faced the harsh reality of his financial limitations. The remaining balance on the ring felt like an insurmountable obstacle, and doubt crept into his heart. As Marcus inquired about the remaining balance, Shaq found himself drawn to the palpable tension in the air. He could see the hope flickering in Marcus's eyes, battling against the despair that threatened to take over. Shaq, who had experienced his fair share of struggles growing up, recognized that moment of vulnerability. He remembered the days when he had to fight for his dreams, and he felt a deep desire to help this young man, who was on the brink of a life-changing moment. In a split second, Shaq made a decision that would alter the course of the day for both himself and Marcus. With a gentle approach, he stepped closer to the counter, allowing his towering frame to cast a reassuring shadow over the young man. "Hey, man," Shaq said in his deep, soothing voice. "What's going on? You look like you have something important on your mind." Marcus, startled but intrigued, glanced up at the basketball legend, his heart racing. "I'm just trying to get this ring for my girlfriend," he confessed, his voice barely above a whisper. "I've been saving for a while, but I still can't afford the full price. I'm worried I won't be able to propose anytime soon." Shaq could see the disappointment etched on Marcus's face, and it tugged at his heartstrings. "You know," he said, leaning in slightly, "love is worth fighting for. If you believe in it, you should go for it." There was a sincerity in his words, a genuine belief that love could conquer all obstacles. Encouraged by Shaq's presence, Marcus opened up about his relationship with Sarah, sharing stories of their adventures together, the laughter they had shared, and the dreams they both held for their future. As he spoke, Shaq listened intently, nodding along, feeling the weight of Marcus's emotions. The bond between the two men grew in that moment, transcending the boundaries of age and stature. The atmosphere shifted as the sales associate continued to explain the details of the layaway plan, but all Shaq could think about was how he could make a difference in this young man's life. The thought ignited a spark of inspiration within him. Without hesitation, he reached for his wallet, knowing that he could alleviate the burden that Marcus carried. "How much is left on the ring?" he asked, a glint of determination in his eyes. Marcus looked stunned, caught off guard by the sudden shift in the conversation. "It's about $1,200, he replied, his voice trembling with disbelief. Shaq's heart swelled with a desire to help. "I got you," he said with a warm smile, pulling out his credit card. "Let's make sure you can propose to Sarah." The moment hung in the air, charged with emotion. Marcus's eyes widened, and his jaw dropped as he processed what was happening. "Wait, are you serious?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. Shaq nodded, his smile unwavering. Absolutely. You deserve to give your girlfriend the ring she's always dreamed of. Love is important, and I want to help you make that happen. As the sales associate processed the payment, Marcus felt an overwhelming wave of gratitude wash over him. He couldn't believe that a man he had admired from afar was standing before him, willing to help him achieve one of the most significant moments of his life. Thank you. Thank you so much, Marcus exclaimed, his voice cracking with emotion. Shaq smiled, but he also reminded Marcus of the importance of giving back. You know, this is just the beginning, he said. One day, you'll have the chance to pay it forward. When you're in a position to help someone else, remember this moment. As they exchanged words of gratitude and hope, the bond between them deepened, a testament to the power of kindness and compassion. Shaq's act of generosity was not just about the money. It was about igniting a spark of hope in Marcus's heart and reminding him that dreams are worth pursuing, no matter the challenges faced along the way. The transaction complete, Shaq and Marcus shared a moment that would linger in their memories long after they parted ways. Shaq, with his towering presence and infectious spirit, had turned an ordinary day into an unforgettable experience, showing that sometimes a simple act of kindness can change the course of someone's life. As they embraced, the world outside faded away, leaving only the warmth of genuine connection and the promise of love. In that jewelry store, where dreams and realities collided, a new chapter began for Marcus and Sarah, one filled with hope, love, and the belief that kindness can illuminate even the darkest paths. Shaquille O'Neal's generous spirit not only changed the course of Marcus's life, but also served as a reminder to everyone present that the world can be a better place through acts of love and compassion. As Marcus walked out of the Zales jewelry store, the weight he had carried for so long had been lifted. The sun shone brightly outside, casting a golden hue on the street, and he felt as if he were walking on air. The engagement ring, now complete, felt like a beacon of hope, symbolizing not just his love for Sarah, but also the kindness of a stranger who had become a friend, if only for a brief moment. Shaquille O'Neal's towering figure remained etched in his mind as he cradled the ring box in his hands. He couldn't shake the feeling of disbelief that such a generous act had been directed toward him. It wasn't just the financial help, it was the encouragement, the faith that Shaq had shown in him. Marcus had always been a dreamer, but this experience breathed new life into his aspirations. He envisioned the moment he would get down on one knee, the joy on Sarah's face, and the promise of a future together. He thought of how he would tell Sarah about this encounter. Would she believe him? He could already imagine her laughter, her disbelief transforming into tears of joy. As he made his way to his car, he pulled out his phone and began to text her, excitement bubbling within him. "You won't believe what just happened," he typed, his fingers dancing across the screen, eager to share the news. Meanwhile, inside the store, Shaq was still riding the high of the moment. He was accustomed to being in the spotlight, often surrounded by fans and admirers. However, moments like these, moments where he could genuinely connect and create a ripple of positivity, were what drove him. He often reflected on his own path and the many people who had supported him along the way. It was essential to him that he extend that same generosity to others whenever he could. As he left the jewelry store, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. The day had started with a simple desire to buy earrings, but it had blossomed into something far more meaningful. He glanced at his phone, checking for messages from his team, but instead found himself scrolling through social media. The video of him interacting with Marcus had already begun to circulate. He watched as people expressed their admiration for his kindness, but he knew that the real reward came from the difference he made in Marcus's life. Back in the warmth of his car, Marcus barely contained his excitement. He clicked on the video that was rapidly spreading across social media platforms. The footage captured the moment Shaq had stepped in, the joy that had enveloped the store, and his heartfelt words. He felt a swell of pride. This wasn't just a story about a celebrity helping someone else. This was a narrative of love, hope, and the connections that bind us all. The comments section exploded with messages of admiration and encouragement, and Marcus felt a sense of community that he hadn't expected. People really care, he thought, smiling to himself. It was a reminder that kindness resonates, and that one act of generosity can inspire countless others. He couldn't wait to share the news with Sarah, to tell her about the man who had changed their lives in an instant. He imagined her reaction, how she would laugh, cry, and maybe even want to meet Shaq one day. As he drove toward their favorite cafe, anticipation filled the air. Memories of their relationship flooded his mind. The late-night talks, the shared dreams, and the quiet moments when they simply enjoyed each other's presence. He envisioned their future together, how they would face challenges hand in hand, and the adventures that awaited them. The ring in his pocket felt like a promise, a testament to his commitment to her and the love they shared. When Marcus arrived, the cafe was bustling with life. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafted through the air, and laughter echoed from every corner. He spotted Sarah sitting at their usual table, her eyes lighting up as she caught sight of him. She was the embodiment of joy, her smile infectious, and in that moment, all his worries faded away.
"Hey you,"
she called out, waving him over. "You're late. I was starting to think you'd forgotten about our date." "Never," he replied, grinning as he approached her. He slid into the chair opposite her and took a deep breath, his heart racing with excitement. "I have something incredible to tell you." Sarah raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Oh, this sounds serious." Marcus chuckled, the weight of the day still fresh in his mind. "You'll never believe who I ran into today." He paused for dramatic effect, relishing the moment.
"Shaquille O'Neal."
Her eyes widened, and she leaned forward, disbelief painted across her face. "Shaq? The basketball player?" "Yeah. And he did something amazing for me," he said, his voice trembling with emotion as he reached into his pocket. With a flourish, he produced the ring box, placing it gently on the table. "I can finally propose to you, Sarah." The world around them seemed to fade as Sarah's gaze fell upon the box. She gasped, her hands flying to her mouth in shock. "Oh my God, Marcus. Are you serious?" "Yes," he replied, his heart pounding. "I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me?" Tears welled in her eyes as she nodded, unable to find the words to express her joy.
"Yes."
"A million times yes," she exclaimed, her voice breaking with happiness. In that moment, surrounded by the buzz of the cafe, they were enveloped in their own world, a universe crafted from dreams and promises. Marcus slipped the ring onto her finger, and it sparkled brilliantly under the soft cafe lights, a symbol of their love and the journey they would embark on together. As they embraced, the realization of how one act of kindness had ignited a chain reaction of love washed over them. Shaquille O'Neal's generosity had not only provided Marcus with a ring but had also reinforced the belief that love is worth fighting for and that there is always hope, even in the most challenging times. Their laughter filled the air, a melody of happiness that echoed the sentiments of countless others who had watched the video of Shaq's kindness. It inspired not just Marcus and Sarah, but everyone who heard the story to reflect on their own capacity for generosity and love. If this story is touching your heart, make sure to comment from where you are hearing this amazing story. As the evening drew near, with the sun setting on the horizon, Marcus and Sarah sat hand in hand, their future shining brightly ahead of them. They began to talk about their wedding plans, the dreams they would build together, and the life they would share. Their love story, now intertwined with the spirit of kindness initiated by a stranger, had become a testament to the power of generosity and the profound impact it can have on our lives. In a world where challenges often loom large, Shaquille O'Neal's simple yet profound act of kindness served as a reminder that we all have the power to uplift one another, to make dreams come true, and to create moments that resonate far beyond their time. As the evening drew near, with the sun setting on the horizon, Marcus and Sarah sat hand in hand, their future shining brightly ahead of them. They began to talk about their wedding plans, the dreams they would build together, and the life they would share. Their love story, now intertwined with the spirit of kindness initiated by a stranger, had become a testament to the power of generosity and the profound impact it can have on our lives. The glow of the setting sun painted the cafe in warm hues, and as they shared their laughter and dreams, Marcus couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude. He thought back to that fateful day at the jewelry store, to the moment Shaquille O'Neal had stepped into his life like a guardian angel. It was incredible how a single act of kindness could ripple outwards, creating waves of joy and hope. "Do you think we'll ever get to meet him?" Sarah asked, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "I mean, what he did for you is just unreal." "Maybe one day," Marcus replied, a smile stretching across his face. "I'd love to thank him in person. Not just for the ring, but for believing in me. He didn't just give me a piece of jewelry, he gave me the courage to take this step." As they discussed their engagement, the conversation shifted toward their shared dreams. They spoke of a cozy home filled with laughter, late-night movie marathons, and Sunday morning pancakes. Each word they exchanged solidified the bond they had forged over the years, reminding them of the journey they were embarking on together. In the days that followed, Marcus and Sarah found themselves enveloped in the excitement of their engagement. They shared the news with family and friends, and each congratulatory message swelled their hearts with joy. Social media buzzed with their story, and the kindness of Shaquille O'Neal became a cherished part of their narrative. It inspired others to look for opportunities to spread kindness, creating a community devoted to uplifting one another. As they planned their wedding, Marcus and Sarah decided to include a special tribute to Shaq. They wanted to honor the man whose generosity had sparked such a beautiful change in their lives. They envisioned a moment during the ceremony where they would express their gratitude for the kindness of strangers, reminding their guests of the importance of compassion in a world that often felt divided. The day of their wedding arrived, a celebration filled with joy, laughter, and love. Friends and family gathered to witness their vows, and as they stood before each other, the world around them faded away. They were enveloped in a cocoon of love, promising to support each other through whatever life would bring. In a heartfelt moment, Marcus shared the story of Shaquille O'Neal, captivating everyone with his words. He spoke of how one man's act of kindness had transformed his life, igniting a flame of hope and inspiring them to be better. The room filled with applause, and eyes glistened with emotion as the guests reflected on the power of love and generosity. As they exchanged rings and shared their first kiss as a married couple, a sense of fulfillment washed over Marcus. He looked into Sarah's eyes, recognizing that their love story was not just about them but also about the connections they would create with others. They were determined to pay it forward, to share the kindness they received in their own lives. Months turned into years, and Marcus and Sarah built a life filled with love, laughter, and adventure. They often spoke about the importance of kindness, using their experiences to inspire others in their community. They volunteered together, supporting various causes that resonated with them, always striving to uplift those in need. One day, while working at a local charity event, they found themselves in the presence of a young couple facing financial struggles. The man was nervously explaining how he had been saving for an engagement ring, but the balance felt too daunting to overcome. Marcus and Sarah exchanged knowing glances, their hearts swelling with empathy. "Let's help them," Sarah whispered, and Marcus nodded in agreement. They approached the couple, sharing their own story and the impact that Shaquille O'Neal had on their lives. With a warm smile, they offered to help pay for the ring, encouraging the young man to seize the moment and propose to the love of his life. The joy that erupted in the couple's eyes mirrored their own experience, and in that moment, Marcus and Sarah felt a deep sense of fulfillment. They had become a beacon of hope for others, just as Shaquille had been for them. As the years rolled on, the ripples of kindness continued to spread. The couple they had helped went on to inspire others, creating a chain reaction that echoed the sentiment of love and compassion that had started with Shaq's generous act. Marcus and Sarah often reflected on their journey, realizing that the essence of their love story was not just about their union, but also about the connections they fostered and the lives they touched. On their anniversary, they decided to reach out to Shaquille O'Neal, hoping to express their gratitude. They wrote him a heartfelt letter, sharing their journey and how his kindness had impacted their lives. To their surprise, they received a response from him, filled with encouragement and appreciation for what they were doing to pay it forward. In the end, the story of Marcus and Sarah became a testament to the power of love, resilience, and the incredible impact of kindness. Their lives intertwined with that of a basketball legend, creating a legacy that would inspire others to believe in the magic of compassion, proving that even the smallest act can ignite a flame of hope that burns brightly in the hearts of many.